Alright, this video is a continuation on the discussion about the differences between the Jersey educational system and the Florida educational system. I left off talking about elementary school and when I got down here. I'm going to pick it back up talking about middle school and what I went through during the transition from elementary school to middle school, and the differences between my elementary school and my middle school. I went to Gotha Middle School down here in Windermere, Florida. It was completely different than my elementary school, which was Durance Elementary. I don't remember where that was located, what city it was in. But that school, during the time that I went there, at least seemed like it was really put together. There was foundation there, and there was a lot of good teachers there. When I first got there, I did not think that. It seemed like the teachers just didn't give a crap like in every other school that I have been to down here. But as I got more into the school, I realized that you could find some really, really good teachers. During my 6th grade year, not much really happened that I can remember. I didn't really connect with any teachers then. It was just, going through the motions, getting done with classes and all that. And it wasn't until my 7th grade year that I think it was my 7th grade year, it might have been my 8th, but I met a teacher who was also from New Jersey. He's a young guy. His name was David Waitley, and what I found interesting about him is he's a former professional wrestler. He was only on the independent circuit, but he used to work for Jersey All Pro Wrestling up in North and Central Jersey. And I had a lot of really funny, good times with him, and he was the first teacher that I really enjoyed being around, and he made stuff fun, and we goof off, and hell, I had a friend of mine who I still know today would freaking perform wrestling moves on classmates. And I remember it is now infamous between he and I. I remember vividly that I was talking to Mr. Waitley about my grade in his class, which happened to be a D at the time, so we're turned our backs to the front of the room, looking at his computer screen, so we're not paying attention to what is going on behind us. Until we hear this loud, thunderous kaboom, and we turn around only to realize, and both of us had a kind of what the F look on our faces. We turn around to realize that my friend had, I have to try and say this without laughing, but he had performed a rock bottom on my other friend Jonathan, who was a rather big guy, I guess, which contributed to the loudness of the thud when he hit the ground. But that was, may not sound that hilarious with me retelling it, but it was as funny as hell. Because we were focused on the computer, all of a sudden we hear kaboof. We turn around, we're like, what the hell was that? Because we couldn't see him on the floor, because obviously there's desks in front of us. So he walks around, I roll around, we see one person on the floor, and my other friend, who had done it, just getting up. And we're like, what the hell happened? Did you guys get in a fight? And he goes, no, I rock bottomed him. And it was just hilarious. I remember other times that he put, our teacher put another student, my one friend whose name is Robert, he put him in a Boston crab, or at least I think he did. I can't really. No, I think I don't think he wanted to do anything for fear of somebody saying something. I think it was Robert that put somebody else in a Boston crab or something like that. But those were good times, and those were sometimes that as a student I'm not going to forget, because I learned a lot from him. I had a good time with him. And to me, whenever you can combine those two things of a little bit of fun, not necessarily that kind of fun, but when you have a teacher that, may joke around every once in a while and make things intriguing and interesting, goes a long way in students actually remembering what is taught to them and what's said, because they can associate it with the time where, hey, I remember when that happened, or at least that's the way it works with me. But that was Mr. Whately, and I've got another video coming where I've got to make a separate video about this one guy who was my social studies teacher in 8th grade. His name was Richard Cole. I'm going to be making a video solely about him, and that one's going to be coming soon. He was another really, really, really good teacher who I'm really honestly never going to forget for a couple of reasons, those of which I'll get into in my next video.